as many of us wait for this Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight to take place, there's also many of us that believe there's a strong possibility that it won't take place because there's been a lot of words said in the past by Tim Smith and other people kind of hinting that, we may not have the money. We may not have the money to give Bud. You know, those weren't exact words, but y'all know what I'm saying, right? So you got all these channels. They're saying that Terence Crawford is pricing himself out of the Errol Spence fight. They're saying that he wants 50-50 of the pay-per-view splits and $20 million purse, you know. And y'all know me. I don't like talking about money. I like talking about the fighters. I want to talk about the fight. I don't want to get into money and all that other shit because I'm not a fan of Joe. I don't care what these dudes make. I just want to see them fight. That's it. Errol Spence has said recently before the Ugas fight, and he's willing to bend a little bit, but he ain't willing to take his jacket all the way off, some shit like that, he said, right? Cool. Then they said, yo, we talking about numbers. We gonna keep it behind closed doors. No more him talking about 60-40 and all this other stuff in public. He said he should have never did that. All right, cool. So they saying Terence Crawford is pricing himself out. The others, these Spence heads, these aerosexuals, these pro Spence channels, they coming up with this new narrative now. That is a way. That is a way for them to try to make it seem like Terence Crawford is ducking Errol Spence. So they're looking at that now. So now what they're doing is right. I see what they're doing. So what they're doing is they see Terence Crawford. He didn't come to the Spence fight with Ugas, right? He didn't show up at the Charlo fight, right? So now I've seen videos and comments about that. He said, "Oh, he didn't show up there because he's scared. He's ducking Errol." So now they're making a new narrative to go with that. That he's pricing himself out because he really don't want to fight Errol Spence, which is total bullshit. My question is though, I can't seem to find any articles though on where Terence Crawford said he wanted $20 million to fight Errol and he wanted split down the middle with the pay-per-views. Guys, I've been looking on different boxing websites, different boxing news networks. I cannot find where Terence Crawford himself has said anything about that. I, Somebody direct me to it. Maybe I don't know where to find it. Maybe you guys seen some stuff that I ain't see. But all day I've been looking online. Cannot find any stories that's confirming that Terence Crawford said he wants 50-50 pay-per-view and $20 million. I mean, listen, man, these the same dudes that said that a contract was signed. And then we found out that it's not because Terence Crawford already came out and said it. Shout out to E Thriller for pointing that out. Like, go subscribe to my man E Thriller, the Black Picasso. He pointed that out. And I caught on to that. Just didn't say nothing about it because I didn't make a video about it. But E Thriller brought it up on his live. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. He did say he didn't sign the contract. So these dudes just pushing anything they can to make these views. But I'm interested for them to show us real proof. Unless I'm missing something. Like I said, yo, guys, if y'all got a story, if y'all got this story that Buzz said all of this, please send it to me. Send me a link. Because I promise you, I've been looking. Maybe I ain't been looking hard enough. But I have not seen that anywhere where Terence Crawford asked for $20 million and half pay-per-view and pricing himself out the fight. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, especially knowing what his path is. Especially knowing what his path is. Why would he price himself out on purpose? Right? Why would he do that? Why would he price himself out on purpose just to you know, duck Errol Spence so he won't get the fight. No, that's not what his path is. He already said what his hit list was. If somebody got a hit list, they want to execute that hit list, right? Now we know Errol got 3 belts. We know Bud got 1 belt. But even Errol himself said, yo, ain't nobody gonna take 70-30. Shit, ain't nobody gonna take 80-20. Okay, cool. So then, right there, right, you can pretty much eliminate the 80-30. I mean, 80-20, 70-30. Eliminate that. Keep the 60-40 open and possibly that 50-50. Now, realistically, Terence Crawford probably saying to himself, well, dude got 3 belts. So, you know what? I'm going to probably leave that 50-50 alone. As far as like the pay-per-views, I mean, I don't know. As far as 50-50 is like the purse. I don't know if how much they would even come up with. See, we don't know numbers. We don't know what's going on, y'all. Neither do these motherfuckers that's making these fucking videos saying that contracts been signed. Making videos coming out talking about Bud asking for this, pricing himself out. We don't know because here's the thing. What we do know is they had enough money to give Canelo, right? What was it, 55 million? Just for Canelo, right? So the Errol Spence fight, we figured that shit ain't a $55 million fight. Not for both of them combined, probably a little less. It's probably gonna be less than 55 million. So I would say a reasonable split would be shit. Like they come up with a pot of, if they came up with 55 for Canelo, they should come up with at least 30 or 40 for them, for Errol and Terence, man. So shit, out of all of that, I would say, if it's 40 million, Errol get what? Errol get, if it's, you already know, if it's 50-50, Bud get 20, Errol get 20. If it's 60-40, I guess it'll be, 25-ish, 25 million for Errol, 15 for Bud, something like that in that area. So, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. And not to mention they be making more on the back end, with all the other stuff going on. And so that's fair. So why are we still at this point where we got to make up fake narratives and we got to make up stories and lies, say people sign contracts and all of that? If we got to do all of that, that means something has hit a snag. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's Bud talking about he want 50-50. I don't think he would ask for 50-50, knowing that Errol got 3 straps now and that he really want this fight so he could do this hit list that he been talking about. And he realized that time is running out for this fight, man. So they got to get it done. But I don't think he's gonna go in there and take a low ball. But Errol himself claims that ain't nobody taking no 70-30, 80-20. So what he's saying when he say that is he's claiming nobody's gonna lowball Terence Crawford. Okay, then it got to be 50-50 or 60-40. Those are the only 2 reasonable ones. I don't think it's gonna be 50-50. I think it's gonna be a 60-40, and I think Bud would probably take that, and then we would have a fight on our hands. But the problem is, I'm still stuck on what a lot of those people over at PBC said. Oh, well, we trying to do this and that and third. But if Bud said he already want the money, he'll take the split that y'all gonna give him, as long as it ain't no low ball shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all don't got the money and all this shit. But when y'all was gonna give Canelo 55 for himself, though, that's crazy. So they got the bread. But for some reason, like I said, when it comes to Terence Crawford, got all these issues, always these problems, all these obstacles, and we will see. But that whole narrative is a lie, I believe, man, because I cannot find that article anywhere where Terence Crawford said, I want 50-50 in the pay-per-view, and I want 20 million off the bat. I don't think so. Now, if they agree, if they get 50-50 for the purse, and Errol will be like, all right, cool. You take, let's say it's a $40 million purse. Okay, Errol take 20 and Bud take 20. To me, that don't sound realistic for Errol team to say nothing like that. They might, if they do, that mean they really want this fight. They want the smoke. They believe in their abilities. If they don't, and they try to lowball him or something, and that means Errol will be going against his own word because he said there is nobody taking no 80-20 or 70-30. So then that would be Errol lying again, reneging and shit, right? So let's try to hold Errol to his word and say, okay, cool. Give Bud that 60-40 and let's get this ball rolling, man. And you guys know I cannot stand talking about shit like this. I hate talking about purses and pay-per-view splits and back ends and all that shit. That's not my thing, you know. But these dudes, for some reason, they're saying they're trying to put this jacket on Terence Crawford where he's the one holding it up. He's the one ducking the smoke. He's out. He's pricing himself out. And I'm like, nah, man, come on, man. If you really a person that can think rational and you take a step back and look at everything, you'll figure it out that it really ain't Terence Crawford's fault. But we'll see what happens in the coming months. Let's see what I've been saying in previous videos. Let's see if that really happens or takes place. But we'll see. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment. Do y'all think that Terence Crawford is pricing himself out of the Errol Spence Jr. fight? Drop a comment. Let me know. And have you guys seen proof of Terence saying this? Because I cannot find it. Anyway, catch y'all later on the next one. And I'm out.